Hello-y.
Hello-y. That sounds like one word.
Hey, hello-y. How's it going?
Hello-y. Oh, it's going pretty well. What's going on, man? How are you?
I'm good, man. I like looking at that 4-1, it looks like, day yesterday. Can't be mad about 4-1. And the only miss, old Huff, was by the good old hook, as they say, 0.5 points. And he might have gave us a new rule to have there with that game. I don't know how you feel, but that Houston defense might be real.
Yeah, or at least Houston at home. Yeah, no doubt. We'll probably just end up fading those. But the interior paint presence was pretty dang good. So maybe we'll start shifting away or pivot instead and take a few unders here now moving forward. But yeah, man. I mean, hey, Huff, he went out and played a hell of a game. Came really down to the wire there, and played a great second half. He just couldn't get much going in the first half, and the game kind of ended up being close down the stretch there. But tough sledding. We'll take an extra one though. Hey, if we miss by a hook and that's the worst part of our day, honestly, that's not a bad day, fam.
Yeah,
not a bad day.
No, I think, excuse me, I think Saturday was great. Sunday was good. It was a small slate, but still was good. And we're already to Wednesday. Monday, there wasn't much. Is that the day? I think, yeah. And Tuesday, nothing Monday. That's right. And then, so Saturday, Sunday, Tuesday, been good profit and good things coming through. Things that we thought were going to come through, not just wild stuff that was just first time things for players like the week before. Although we still did decent the week before, it was just some of our losses the week before were so nasty. But last 3 days it's been nice, man. It has been nice. I mean, the unit's up 15.81 on the season. You can't be mad. Let's keep it going. We got 2 more months before March Madness.
Yeah, man, exactly. And that's the plan here. We're really going to be ramping it up and continuing more and more. Obviously our unit size has been going up here, but the units down as well being bad, moving those on up a little bit more and more. So we got the pretty good slate so far. Yesterday was a real nice day. And, honestly, we were sitting pretty at the first half through most of the games. But the players, went out and did their thing, and at least on the play that we kind of, could have felt better about with Huff, he was only up 0.5 plays. So all in all, still pretty good bankroll management. If you guys also were in the Discord, caught a bunch of Bet Online stuff, hit our full unit play on there. So having all that stuff put together, made for a pretty good night. And the soccer as well, I believe. Shout out to Big DZ. He hit his 2-pick that he posted yesterday too. So it was a good day. Good day, man. Can't complain.
Yep. And we are here to do it all over again. We have some interesting plays. We locked in Wagyu last night at 14.5. Is he still 14.5? Or did he bump?
He's 14.5 on some sites. I think Bet365 had it, but let's see.
You see
back and forth.
You see old Evans on Duke bumped to 15.5. Ooh, I think he's gonna have a night. I don't know why I had that feeling, but I think it's every time I see somebody play cow, I just think something bad's gonna happen to the cow. But I don't know. Evans seems like he'll come through, but who knows? The numbers aren't saying that. Appreciate you guys for hitting the like. I forgot to do a little poll that said, "Did you hit the like?" But people are hitting the likes anyway, so thanks, guys. They know the routine already. We need to get back. We need to get back some people up in here. Got some wins going on. People missing out on these wins. Hey,
I know Discord's been cracking. Make sure, like you said, if you guys haven't already, I was going to actually do that, but we got basketball in the rain, so moving along a little bit faster than usual. Make sure you guys hit that like button down below if you haven't already. Turn on those noties. Hit that sub button if you're not already. And last but not least, make sure you're part of the fam. Still running 7-day free trial. Links down below. Come in, check out the Discord with us, win some cash, and say what's up.
Guess what else, E? Q-Donkey's here. Q-Donkey's here. Fresh off his fresh off his Fears PA victory there. I was watching that for him yesterday. That was nice. Fears decided he's a scorer now in the last 4 games, so that's cool. And he said scam picks. He fell for the curry taco last night. There you go. You stayed off the taco, Z. That was a good move. Q Donkey might be following you starting now. I don't know. We'll see.
I'm so over it, honestly. It would be one thing if they throw us a bone every now and then, to kind of make up for it. But I couldn't believe, man, honestly, just a slap in the face from the last 2 weeks, going 2 of 6 in total for the tacos. And then they follow that up with a couple of low ball protected plays. I'm like, dog, man, if you don't give me a free play or a real discount over here, not this Drake May 60 less yards or some BS, no, a free play, something to make up for all the break even and just a frustrating time, spent in the last 2 weeks here. But hey, we digress. We're all, learning a little bit here and there. So fire calls in the chat yesterday, and also being able to get these discounts and stuff where we can. Shout out to Sleeper, man. They've had a lot of great stuff here lately. I think they had one for today as well.
Yeah, they had a good Stojakovic. I think they discounted it down to 11.5 points. That's cool. I mean, it's a little $10, nothing special, but always good to just get all these things in where you like to play. Don't just play it because there's a discount, though. That's the problem. They lure you in with whatever they want you to play. And, he wasn't really on the radar to want to play, but I don't hate it. I think he can get there in this game, but we'll see. I mean, it's worth a little play. I'm just waiting for their alts to come back because those alts have been nice. We hit that 6 pick last week, actually Saturday. So I'm hoping they bring them back because these alts have been really nice, man. College basketball alts, especially this time of the season, I've noticed that last year too. They really come through in these times. They go to their guys when they really need to win. So those alts have been nice. I think the alts in college basketball for overs might be better than any other over alts, I must admit. And the money lines. I think we might want to get back to money lines here soon. We can try it again. I know the ones you had yesterday all hit, which is nice. Christian Santiago's here. What's happening? He said that he also got boned by the taco. Yeah, but he said the first 2 hit, so that's cool. Q Donkey's on Trimble. We'll talk about that in a minute. And C Dot's here, the man that he is. We appreciate you, man. He says, I'm here. Let's effing go. I'm not going to cuss anymore for YouTube. We'll see if that helps. Hit the like button, subscribe to the Discord, subscribe to the channel. We getting money over here. Let's go, C Dot.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Well, I guess without further ado, let's go ahead and hop into talk about a couple of leagues. And first one with the Waggler, let's take a look at the game total here. Honestly, one I still wouldn't mind for a money line. We're getting fairly reasonable odds. It is Illinois, but minus 520, that's not bad. I think we feel pretty confident that they can pick up the win here in general, although Northwestern has been a pretty formidable opponent. I will say credit for them. Team Martinelli has been doing, spectacular things so far this season.
They actually were holding their own there in that last game. Michigan State, right? It was close until the last 10 minutes. So, but I mean, it is in Northwestern. It is at Northwestern. Only thing that scares me, but I feel you. Illinois should take this, and that would be one of those ones where I'm like, let's find our favorite 3 maybe and put them together for a little trial, maybe. I don't know. That's how I feel. I think we can try to get back to that.
Yeah, take it around the block, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, hey, total looks pretty solid, 151.5. Don't mind that. Within a 10-point spread. Honestly, I do think that Illinois kind of plays down a little bit more to their competition on the road. So not surprised to see it much different spread than, some of their normal games they had. I mean, their last game, they were 22-point favorites, some crazy stuff like that. So pretty fair. And I think that makes a lot more sense for the big Wagyu, man. I mean, this guy's just been such an impressive player for this team this year. And honestly, I mean, rightfully so. The usage rating for him has been really solid, especially in the last month and a half now of the season. But the biggest thing for these guys is just, if the game is close. That's been the biggest wild card factor of this team because the minutes can be, obviously wildly different. Anytime they're playing 30 minutes, so that usually means most of the games are close. So expecting somewhere in that range, we'll use 28 minutes just to be safe. But his scoring production has been really, really solid so far this season. I mean, averaging almost 17 points a game. The field goal attempts also still being a nice mixed bag. We talked about last stream his ability to not only kind of hit people with a pump fake now, being able to crash and get to the free throw line has been, massive, massive upside for him. But he still has, just a smooth 3-point shot, man. I mean, he's their number one 3-point shooter every game by and large. He can create his own shots too, which is something that's, really impressive, at least on a college level. But the ball's just been in his hand, majority of the time that he's out there. I didn't really want to go back to the PA because we did get it on such a good discount this last time. I mean, 17.5 felt really nice. 19.5, a little bit more of a stretch now, especially considering the fact they only really bumped his assist, which is mostly plus money across the board, and they left his points the same. So 14.5 points still feels pretty solid. I do like the 3-point upside with him. I mean, we saw him really come alive this last game, ended up being, I think, the team's lead scorer at the end of the game. But 14.5 points, probably some of the last few times we might see this line again. So maybe not the best matchup, not the greatest matchup, but I love the minutes, love the usage, love the potential.
Yeah, and love how he's been just going off since the last, month now. He's been very, 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 very... I know he got in foul trouble, too, last game and still came through. So, it is a tougher matchup. Northwestern's a little tough on the threes, it looks like, but the 14.5, you got to take a stab at that. Now, did we put a full unit for that, or did we put a half? I think we put a full. We're going big.
Yeah, we went with the full ski.
The full ski. Okay.
Yeah.
Not bad at the full ski. Yeah, I'm not mad at the full ski. No, I just switched the screen like that. No, we want to have a little different view here today a little bit. Let's see. So Wagyu, yes, let's go. What else we got? We know Wagyu from yesterday. I'm surprised it's still 14.5.
Yeah. Oh, that's what we were just briefly glancing at. I mean, he's still kind of divided between a few sites. He is up to 15.5. Prizepicks, right there in the middle at 15. So there is a little bit of a divide as far as where his line really is kind of lying right now. But, even these three sites are kind of agreeing that the 15.5 still feels a little, lower for him. But get that 14.5, man. I would not be surprised if that moves.
100%. I think it will, but before the game for sure. So
these odds are kind of getting kind of poopy. Fliff is really kind of your best bet between these two sites.
Fliff is like a real site now. Right when they went away from Cali, now they're a real site. I hate them.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, let's keep on keeping on. We got one more. Another play that honestly looks like the books are pretty divided on. His payout was very different on a few different sites, from all the way up to plus 100. 365 had him at plus 102, I believe. So even more so, in the favor of that. But I mean, DraftKings and Sleeper all the way down to, minus 120, 137. That's kind of crazy to see a big difference here. But honestly, this line is just way too low. I don't care. I haven't cared any time that he's been at 12.5. I mean, this is just way too low for him. He does the same thing every game. He's done the same thing for essentially just this last game being his only miss. And it's kind of funny, too, because you and I were laughing about that the last time that they were on, and we had his 13.5 points. We were talking about that, and they bumped it up to 14.5 points. But hey, this dude should never be 12.5 points, like ever. I mean, we're talking only missed 3 times this year, 2 of them being blowout games. This one's a blowout game, and I believe he was in foul trouble this game or he got hurt. But terrible scoring game. I mean, you're going to have one, shooting from the field, bad game. But realistically, this is only a bad game he's had in the last month now. And did the same normal thing. He just couldn't land a few more shots here, and it was on the road. So he gets the stage frights every now and then. It's going to happen, but still looked pretty good. He also was in a little bit late game foul trouble as well. He had 4 fouls, but the usage rating for him, has just been so nice since coming back from this little injury here. Oh yeah, and that game that they blew him out, he was also the first game back from that. So really low shot volume, but anytime that he's taken 10 or more field goal attempts this year, it's just doing the write-up, so bear with me 1 second right before we hop online, or before we hop on. All right. So averaging 30 minutes a night. We can see that already. Basically every single game except for that blowout game and foul trouble, he's played at least 30 minutes essentially. And then when taking 10 or more field goal attempts, he has hit this in 11 out of 12 games this season. So, the volume and everything has really been there for him, like I said, over the last month and a half now. And just double-digit field goal attempts. So, that's the bar that we're setting here, and he's done that in so many different games. I love him at home even more so. And, you look at this team as a whole, it's just been him and Day Adams, sprinkling a little bit of Chris Bell and other dude, cannot remember his name, but it's essentially just those two guards. And they've done it every single game so far this season. Plays really, really well at home. And he's played really, really well in some of these more difficult matchups too. So not too scared about it. Both Caleb Foster and Isaiah Evans, they're okay defenders. Honestly, don't really scare me off of either one of them. Caleb Foster can get a little bit of foul trouble. Evans, we see him get a little handsy from time to time too. So, we could get that little extra free throw upside we're looking for. But this dude's had double-digit scoring, essentially in every half in the last 5 or 6 games now, or going into half. So a lot of could be, should be's, but he's done really well, man. I like him. I like the minutes, I like the production. He's a Pippen kid. There's a little bit extra there. He's got basketball in his blood.
I like it, man. 12.5. We might as well do it. It is Duke, but they are at home. 12.5's low for, I don't know what you call him, the second scorer on the team. Right around him and Day are pretty close, right? He's right up there.
Yeah, Day-Day's got a little bit more higher volume. He's probably got a higher ceiling potential, but he is also a little bit more hit or miss. He kind of flings the three a little bit more, but Pippen, his control in how his shot selection lately really, really has been impressive for me. It is Duke, yes, but the best way to attack Duke is going to be from the arc and from that mid-range, and him and Day are going to be the only ones doing that. So if we see any games also kind of to that note that Chris Bell, anytime he's had limited production, it really just filters out between these two guys. And John Camden's going to have an absolute nightmare matchup going up against Boozer. So even if we just remove Camden by himself, I would say he's probably the next biggest threat that could take away from either of the guards here. Assuming both of these guys struggle a little bit more than per usual, the usage is just going to filter out even more to these guys. So I like it. It's, we talked about it last slate when Duke was playing. You beat them with the guards. You cannot beat this team on the inside. They're just way too good.
I like it. I'm pumped. Let's go. Let's get another win. Let's go 3-0.
And one last little thing too, circle back full circle, brought it up on the stream last time. This guy's 3-point volume also is just, I don't know how we're getting this low number for him, because at the beginning of the season, okay, I could see that. He was only taking 3, 4, maybe 5 3-point attempts. But outside of the game that he got hurt and came back from, he's ripping from 3, at least 5 to 8 times a game. And that efficiency has been there. So, 6 points right here from just beyond the arc is already half of our point prop. And then consider he's a mixed bag shooter, so he'll get to the line maybe once at least a game, a few times a game, and then taking those shots from the floor. It's just too low, man. He shouldn't be 12.5.
I'm in. I just added it again with the sleeper threw another discount up. Your boy Burries, Arizona dude. I think he's at 11.5, 12.5. So
I like
do that in too.
I like that.
Yes, sir. Come on, sleeper. Give me the alts back. Anyways. All right, cool. So we got Pippen, And we got now we got your homie Duke at the bottom, and that'll be the 3. Q Donkey has 3 plays to look at, so that's cool too. So we got those. Anybody else have any plays? Throw them in the chat. We'll look through those as well. I have I see Wet actually dropped a play here. Interesting, very interesting. Caleb Wilson fantasy, and it's a fantasy right up your alley there, E.
Yeah. Hold on.
Caleb Wilson fantasy 37.35. I wonder what it is on Prizepicks. You probably already know.
Yeah, he's at 38 fantasy on there.
Why are you laughing?
Because he messaged me that right before we hopped on, and I didn't get back to him. But I appreciate you asking in the chat.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, Caleb is definitely interesting, man. Well, let's talk about that first, real fast. Line differences have been pretty noticeable from Prizepicks and Underdog. Today, Underdog actually was the second to move, and they're missing still a whole bunch of fantasy props just in general. But they moved after Prizepicks, and oh man, Prizepicks about 39. Whew. Jeez.
They saw that Wet liked it. People started, maxing out. More people on Prizepicks when they saw Wet posted. They were like, I got to get that in.
Yeah. Now, I do like Caleb Wilson a little bit more so here because we are expecting Opara to play on the other side. He was, I think, out this more recent game or the game before that. He was dealing with some kind of injury.
So he's actually in today, or we don't know yet?
He's trending towards playing.
Okay.
They're making it seem like he is going to, but there is some concern, he may or may not play. If he doesn't play, then Ibuki going to see a big time usage rating. That would make Caleb Wilson a little bit easier to score with, I think, but maybe loses out on some of the block steal upside for this matchup could kind of have for us here. I do like his RA. I mean, that's one thing we talk about him all the time. He's really, really consistent with the rebounding more so than anything. The playmaking kind of hit or miss there a little bit, which we got another play for this team to talk about as well. Just kind of flash over real fast. Seth the Tremblay, he's at 2.5 assists.
Hi, Seth.
And man, that's kind of low, but going back to Wilson, I mean, I like the scoring upside here. He's been a lot more assertive lately. You just kind of have your same, shenanigans between him and Henry as far as like who's going to take more field goal attempts, because Henry really came alive this last game. And even though Caleb still went for 20 plus, I do like that. His lines are getting a little bit more, appropriate. I'm not even going to say they're high because this seems pretty fair if we're being honest, but we just got to fade the turnovers. That's the only real, I think, concern just in general for us here. They've been pretty good, Stanford that is, at causing turnovers, but he's been a low turnover guy, so one of these is going to have to give today. Even on a bad night, though, I mean, if he has 3 turnovers, as long as he can get still at least 2 blocks or steals, I think we're totally fine. We're cooking on that, but oh man.
I mean, look at his last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games. 3 stock, 7 stock, 2, 2, 2. I mean, he's been doing it.
Yeah, no, he's very productive and honestly just a fun player to watch in general.
Yeah, he's nice.
I'd roll with the Underdog line if we are going to take it. I mean, honestly, I think, dog, you're just sweating the minutes here. Give me 29 minutes to say generous, because this game wasn't that close. This game, I believe, was one of his.
I think foul trouble with him a little bit. A few times. Is that what? Okay.
Yeah, that does happen from time to time.
Let's see. What do I? Actually, not really. It was earlier in the season. I was thinking he did it more than that, but nah, he's okay with the fouls.
Yeah,
and
he's not too bad.
His minutes are. His minutes, you talked about minutes. It looks like you're worried about the game staying close. I mean, Stanford, what's the spread? Do you know?
I mean, I'm not too worried about it. No, it's only a 3.5 point spread.
Okay, good.
I'm not necessarily worried about that, honestly. They did get that one bad guard back, Luca, whatever his name is, and wouldn't mind seeing him start. That'd be kind of dope. But they had this Stevenson guy starting this last game, which he kind of is a walking do nothing. So that really is not going to matter a whole hell of a lot. I'm just thinking if Chisholm Okpara, if he ends up playing, there would be a lot more potential for block and steal upside because dude doesn't really shoot a whole hell of a lot of threes. At least we'll have someone kind of in the vicinity, usage rating, X, Y, and Z for there. But I mean, he's been a beast on the glass. The RA, I think, still high potential, PR upside. It's really just Henry, man. Yeah, how many field goal attempts does Henry take and then take away from him? Because this dude's been kind of on one all season too.
Yeah, for the bowl play, I was like, we got to combine those guys and push them down, and they'll both probably get there. But, I mean, if you're talking about his minutes look good. 36, 34, 36, 34. Last 4 competitive games. 35, Georgetown. 34, 35, Kentucky. 33, Michigan State. I mean, minutes are there.
Yeah. No, I'm not too worried about that. I mean, honestly, like I said, the PR, probably the best thing, then the stocks, and then sprinkle in turnovers and the assists, kind of factor that in. I do like, at least for a couple metrics things, the free throw upside's pretty nice. I mean, honestly, both him and Henry should see a lot of action from that. And then the offensive rebounding and just rebounding in general look pretty good for these guys here. Yeah. So I don't mind it, man. Honestly, I mean, it's a good line for him. It's definitely a very appropriate line.
All right.
All right. Well, let's keep moving. What was the other questions we got?
Q-Doggy's been, he's on a couple things we were talking about before, so this will be fun to look at. So he has Haggerty 20 plus. I know we have, in the bowl bet, we have Haggerty at 18 plus with a couple other little plays. What do you think about the 20? Can we get to 20? I know he's been coming through. The only time he didn't come through was when we put a little something on him that time, and it was against your squad, Creighton.
Yeah. Now we know. Just fade Creighton, man. That's the easy thing.
Now, didn't we go at Creighton yesterday with KJ and he came through? Wasn't that Creighton?
He did, and we got bailed out by the skin of our ass with overtime.
Wow, that was nice.
Yep, I learned my lesson. I'm telling you, man. Creighton, and also LSU, because they play tonight. I want you to watch these two teams, man. They just hold everybody to a season average every time.
So no more Creighton, even though they came through yesterday? Or are you done with it? Done playing around with that?
Yeah, no, it was holding true because bro would have actually hooked and I would have lost my mind. He would have ended with 26 and some change. 26.7 or 5 or something like that.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You were about to lose your mind. I'm glad it happened so you didn't lose your mind. Now we're back!
Yeah. I mean, so circling back to the Haggerty 20 plus,
yeah.
There really hasn't been much incentive to, I'll say honestly, to take his 20 plus alt line and not just run the full game thing. And this is something that Underrated and I kind of go back and forth a lot about, just debating on, taking a pay cut essentially for something or a player like this. Haggerty, Lamar Wilkerson, prime example players. With Lamar Wilkerson also yesterday, 17.5 points, full game line, alt line 15 plus. You're looking at something like very similar to this where they can get there. The hit rating on just the normal line already is pretty exceptional. But then, you take it down and you look at, the 19.5 plus. There's literally no difference here for the hit rating overall. Would it suck if he gets 20 points right on the money? Like, yeah. But overall, so far this season, I mean, he just hasn't done that. He had one really brutal hook here with 19. I know because I played something that game on him. But in general, I mean, either he's going way over this 20 marker and over the points as well, or he's coming up way short in some of these more blowout, tougher games. So it's kind of hard for me to just take at least the straight up points in an alt line. If you want to do it, I get it, man. But I would even consider just taking his full game points or nothing at all.
So what are they paying for the 20? I guess that would kind of be a thought. Do you know?
I mean, it's just, the usual minus 200 something.
And you're saving what, 4 points? 3 points?
Yeah.
He's at 20. So it opened at 24.5 and now it's at 22.5. Someone smashed that under. Whew.
Oh, the 24.5 is a pretty remarkable difference. I mean, you go from 68 to 38%.
Right. So 22.5 is now the line?
Yeah. And I was going to say, I mean, if he was the 24.5, then, by all means, I would take the 20 or more from that. But now with this a little bit more appropriate, it's just, it's really hard not to just go for, if you're swinging for the fence here, you might as well do it. We're not going for a bunt. Right.
Unless you have something that's you feel is super easy that can go with it. But yeah, I feel what you're saying.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I mean, if say, like, for example, you wanted to go with his 20 or more points, or really the 18 or more, which, I mean, shout out to Bet Online, dog. The 18.5 or 18 or more is perfect. But if you want to do, you can have something easily with like him, and then just throw in, for example, Justin, his 10 plus points for Pippen. Two really high hit rating props, and then you can get good odds for both of them.
Yeah. Like we were saying before, those seem to be actually coming through lately, so might as well keep it rolling. Okay, and then he talked, he said Seth, good old Trimble PRA. Now, I know you talked about his assists. Do you like going with the PRA as well? So he had what? One off game? What did he do last game? What was that? 20.5. Wake Forest.
He did not score.
He just didn't score. Did he just miss? Did he shoot, or did he just not shoot?
He just wasn't shooting. He only had 7 total.
That's a little scary.
Yeah, that was a little bit of a red flag for me because, I mean, you take a look at the 3 games that he kind of missed here, essentially. Even though he got there this one game, which was just barely over, I think he had an insane rebounding game. Or no, it was his insane assist game. So the RA is really carrying a majority of the weight here. I mean, honestly, dude, this 5.5 RA is kind of insane. I'm not going to lie. The rebounds have been pretty consistent. I do like the scoring, don't get me wrong, but you just got to know that if he misses on the scoring, everything else with like the PR, PRA, PA, anything like that is in big jeopardy. Seeing that shot volume come down quite a bit this last game, I mean, almost half of some of what we've seen recently, that's a little bit scary. The usage rating was still, there by and large, but he also had 4 turnovers, so maybe he could have picked up a little bit more field goal attempts there along the way. I do like the minutes. I mean, the minutes still look really good. I might honestly just lean still a little bit more with the fantasy. I know they did bump him, but still, I mean, something clearly he's able to attain all season so far, and that was with, again, this last game. He had a season high 4 turnovers and still ended with 24 fantasy. So if you want to do something in that, with him, I think the RA upside, very, very solid for him. And then if you want to chase the points, chase it with some of the other RA potential. I mean, he's a stock getter. He can get blocks and steals too. So don't sleep on that. And I would not expect, 4 turnovers a game, 2 turnovers on a normal night, if that. But he's not bad, honestly. I got a lot of interest in him, just not the best matchup. He's going to have his hands full a little bit out there guarding on the wing.
What's his fantasy?
So it opened at 21.5, but the 22.5 didn't really make any difference. Only on price.
It's pretty low.
It is, man. It is. This definitely had my interest. which is kind of weird because I mean, honestly, they left us a lot of these NC guys pretty dang low here. I bet even Henry's going to have a lot of green bars here when we take a peek. Let's see. Yeah. A little bit of difference here between the two sites. So, yeah. So they gave us two guys over 60% hit rating, and then Seth at 100%. So take that for what you will.
I don't know how to think about Stanford.
It's tough, man. It's tough.
Yeah, they seem... I don't know. Okay. Well, let it be. Q Donkey says, "Wow, I didn't see that fantasy." I guess he's liking what he's seeing there with that fantasy score for Big Seth.
It's kind of nice, man.
Yeah, it's pretty
I've really
low.
been back and forth on him today.
I mean, it's pretty low compared to if you like his PRA. I mean, if you're gonna play his PRA, you might as well play his fantasy instead, right? I mean, unless you think the turnovers are gonna hurt you. It's the only thing. It's just from that last game too.
Yeah, which he still got there from.
Yeah, and he still got there. Yeah.
It's tempting. It's tempting.
And what was it on Underdog, or did they not have it? They don't have it, huh? Okay.
Nope.
Yeah.
Sadly.
So that's crazy. It opened at 21.5. Wow.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
And like I said, I really don't think it makes much of a difference for, just that 1 point or whatever for the fantasy in total. They didn't really bump any individual line, so it's not like, anything was baked in with that. They just kind of adjusted it for the hit rating. If it moves again, I probably would just, leave it alone. But I was really, really debating list worthy today or not.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, that does make sense. Why play the PRA if you can play that fantasy just a tiny bit over? He gets a steal or so, you're already there. As long as he doesn't get 4 turnovers, still got there last time. Makes sense. I don't see how you could play the PRA over the fantasy. Now that we see that. All right.
Yep.
Cool, because I was looking at the bowl plays too, and I was thinking, and I've seen Seth what he did last game, but we can get his PRA down to 15 for the alt. Feels pretty good.
Yeah, I would definitely play that.
Yeah, so you can't alt PRAs very much in certain books. I know you can on Underdog, but we know that payout's so terrible. Okay, cool. So there's Seth, and then he had one other that he dropped, Hansberry PRA. And if anyone else has anything that they want to go through, throw it in the chat, guys.
Let's see. Is Hansberry good to go?
Hansberry.
No, he's rocking a little Q tag. Let's see. Okay, probable. All right, good. At least he's trending in that direction.
That game in 15 minutes? Is that game or no?
No.
Okay.
No, it's 9 Eastern.
Okay.
I mean, honestly, I don't mind Hansberry. SMU plays really, really fast. I mean, they're like top in pace right now. We do need to find out if he's going to play. Also, if Boopy Miller is going to sit out again, or if he ends up suiting up for this one. Really makes a big difference. Also, I will say book odds too. That's a pretty big, impactful injury report for either of these guys. So something to kind of keep an eye out for. I like Hansberry. I mean, honestly, we played him a pretty fair majority of the time when his lines aren't too terribly inflated. Great PR upside. Guy's been getting to the free throw line quite a bit too. Great offensive rebounder. What was his actual lines today? I'm a little behind on this team just because we were waiting around on Boopy Miller news. But what's that fantasy look like? Not for last year, for this year. All right, pretty appropriate. Anytime he's under 33, I think that's a fair line from the books. He did get into, I think, a little bit of foul trouble this last game. Or no, it was a game before, sorry, against Wake Forest. No surprise there. But last game, I mean, he just kind of shot poorly. Oh, nope, didn't have it far enough. Okay, so California, yeah, no surprise. He went for 15, 9, and 1. Pretty solid game. The fantasy could have been a little bit better. Scoring still looks great for him. I don't mind the matchup, honestly, in general. Not for you, for this one. Yeah, see, points and assist upside really, really going to be solid here. Mentioned with the pace from SMU. What's the if you have it in front of me? What's the game total for this?
For the SMU game, let's see. What is it? I see 153.5.
Okay, nice. And Vatek's 8.5-point underdogs could change if Boopy plays, but we'll see. I mean, honestly, I don't mind the scoring upside for him at all. Bigs have looked really, really well hitting season averages and/or beyond. Let's see. Go to my personal notes here real fast.
Now, if Boopy's in or out, does that change anything for you?
Really just, I think, more so like money line and team totals or something like that, but nah, not too much. Maybe it makes the 8.5 points a little bit closer to like, 9.5 or 10.5 points, but I think they already know what's up with that.
Okay.
Now, all right, looking at my notes here, looks like SMU, they are pretty tough on point guard shooting guards. They're giving up a ton of damage to specifically the small forward position, but forwards in general, seeing a lot of success against them. The small forward would be kind of the ideal spot, but again, bigs having their way with them too here. So I don't mind that. Honestly, I don't know if I'm in love more with Joker. No, I'm just kidding. In love with the straight up scoring here, which I mean honestly looks pretty good. He's still averaging 16 in I heard that. What? Still averaging 16 so far this season. The rebound line still fair. I don't know if I want to pay the tax for the assist as well. That one's kind of been a little bit more up and down in general. What's the PR or the PA? One of those two. Scoring upside something with him here. Honestly, can't put my finger on it just yet. Probably pull the trigger whenever we hear the Boopy news, but
Boopy.
I like Hansberry, man. This is a good spot for him. We've seen him to keep the game close. Don't get spanked on the road here, and we'll be all right.
Yeah, Q Donkey comes with a fun place to look at too. Thank you for posting always, man. It's fun. Damien's here too. He says, "What's good, fellas? What's up, Damien? Damien, you got a play you liking today? Let's look through something if you got something. If not, it's all good." Okay, cool. And then so then the last play, are you sitting on Hansberry still thinking about him, or are you done with him? I see you thinking.
Well, I mean, the wheels are turning a little bit. More so, just kind of if I had to give you a final verdict here, which kind of looks better. I mean, the dude is killing the scoring. Like I said, anytime he's playing at least 28 minutes or more, I mean, he's averaging almost 19 points a game. So I do like to see that. But also wanted to double check the fantasy line.
Ayo's here.
38. Hey, what's good, man? What's good?
He said E-Money forever. And he said underrated beats forever. Forever, Ayo, let's go!
Hell yeah. Go back to 28 minutes. Either the points or the PA, man. I can't pick between the two. I might just say points, honestly, and not fiddle with the 2.5. Because they're not taxing it, but don't know, man. This looks a little bit better, a little more consistent.
All right, we can take a look at that a little bit later too. So many games, it's like you gotta go in time frames here. Okay,
this one plays late too, so we can kind of chill on that.
Yeah. Okay, show me Duke. I want to see this Duke Miles love and why. And I know Coach liked it too.
Duke.
Let's see. Might have to get this in. What do we got? 29.5 fantasy on Prizepicks and not on. Oh, Underdog is 29.65. Silly. Okay, whatever.
Small difference, tomato here. I think if he's going over, it's that little point, whatever. It's not going to make much of a difference. But all right, so we have a lot of pros and a few cons here. So let's go ahead. We'll get the cons out of the way. Talk about some of the negative things that can or cannot happen with him. One of them being the obvious is he does come with a little bit of foul trouble, and most of that is just from the defensive prowess that he is. I mean, he's been an absolute nightmare for opposing guards, causing many turnovers a game. But also, kind of cool thing with him too is he was coming back from an injury, and he did have a game where, unfortunately, he did get into foul trouble, ended up missing out in this more recent game here. But any of the games where we see him just go out, play his normal amount of minutes, which is essentially 28 or more in every competitive game so far this season, the numbers looked a heck of a lot different. I mean, it's not like this guy's just barely clearing this line. I mean, we're talking 38 fantasy on average per game. And really the two blemishes being he was in foul trouble in this game, and he was in foul trouble, and this was also kind of a blowout too down the stretch. But only 2 games that he missed, and he also shot quite poorly in those 2 games. So looking at the SMU was the first half foul trouble. I remember that. And then UCF, he ended up fouling out of the game with 5. The LSU matchup, man, and like I said, circle back to this tomorrow. We'll talk about this and kind of recap. Something about this team, they just hold everyone to their average points. He ended up clearing his point line, but he only had 1 steal, no blocks, no nothing else, and really no rebounds either. So he did everything, got all the way up to the line, and his only blemish was he only had 1 stock. But that's not his thing. I mean, this dude should have a lot of opportunity again here. And also LSU, I believe, was missing their star point guard in this last game, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so they didn't have their usual turnover guy. They had Max McKinnon, who's just kind of a pick and pop guard. He was basically their stand-in point guard, and they only had 14 total assists as a team. So they really didn't have a true point guard running this last game. Not that surprised he didn't get many turnovers off of them, but in general, should be a great spot for us here. Tremont Mark on the other side, he's been playing way over his head. And I have no idea how, because he definitely crapped the bed early in the season whenever we played him. But
yeah,
last month
back.
Now,
yeah, he's been going crazy.
He's been snapping off, and even though he hasn't had many turnovers in these games, I mean, you look at the opponents that he's played against. Honestly, the only real one was going to be here for UConn, which to be fair, he had a hell of a game against them, low turnovers, and then Tennessee, maybe kind of throw it up there. They had 2 forced turnovers against him, but still, just the usage in general has really been quite high and way over his head, like I said, for Tremont Mark here. So would not be surprised. I think they're going to stick Duke on him tonight, and then they'll put one of the 2 Tylers, probably Tyler Tanner, on Jordan Pope on the other side here. They could make him kind of slide down to see Dylan Swain, which I still think would free up our space here for Duke to pick up Tremont, and then they could have Nickel slide over and pick up Pope, because Nickel, he's more of just their true 3-point shooter, whereas both Duke and Tanner, they're like the scrappy guards. They do it off the team here.
Oh,
they do.
I mean,
but yeah,
everyone does.
Yeah. Honestly, though, just in a general sense, Duke, his lines are way, way too low. I mean, this guy should easily be at 32, 33 fantasy, which he was right before he got hurt and had to miss a little bit of time here. So.
Guess what, E? You have sold me. You have definitely sold me. And, selling fantasy to me is not easy. But lately, must say, you sold me on KJ yesterday. He came through. The last 3 or 4 fantasy that you've been liking, I like these because they're just too low. This is just too low. It's like you said. Aya likes the doo-doo comment, I think.
The doo-doo. Say doo-doo. Yeah, bro. His lines are just too low. I mean, you look at the games. So the 3 road games they've had so far this season, this was way earlier in the season, all the way back in early November. He fouled out, still played 29 minutes, but the other 2 games that he played that were competitive, them going out and smacking around Wake Forest is kind of impressive on their turf. But yeah, dude, I mean, just went out there, did his thing, had a very average game, didn't have to do anything extraordinary. And I still like just the steal into broken play. Anytime that ever happens, this guy is involved in those plays 90% of the time, all the time. So even though Texas might not turn it over in general that much, I truly don't think that they played many opponents that actually caused many turnovers so far this season. So this will be a nice test for our guy here. And honestly, the scoring has been there, so it's not like he's not doing it on, honestly, all sides of the field here, or on both sides of the ball. The scoring's been there. The three-point shooting been pretty solid, which I think this is also something that could see a little bit more love. We saw a lot of this in the early season, coming off of a few games, a few misses here, perfect bounce back spot. Pencil me down for closer to 20 points this game, sprinkle in a little bit of RA, man, easy 30 fantasy.
I like it. I'm over here trying to get it in on stupid Prizepicks right now. Weird both sites got it low, huh?
A little bit, because they had a pretty noticeable difference here for Tyler Tanner, if I can spell it right.
I was going to say, what do we like about him today, or do we not? Probably not.
Same thing, honestly, just fantasy upside. I mean, he's literally the Batman and Robin combo here, however you want to look at it for these guys. Really high potential for block and steal upside. He does come with a little bit more turnovers, but also his lines were fairly adjusted. So the biggest difference, I would say, mostly just to Underdog. Prizepicks had him at 35.5 fantasy, but Underdog had him at 33.95, so a little bit more of a discount there, which does kind of make a difference for him. His line's just more appropriate, honestly. The dude's been on a heater this last month right now, so not even surprised he's way up there.
Gotcha. Yeah, that makes sense. Cool. So the value is just in Duke. They're both good value in Duke. I like that.
Yeah, and cool. And they didn't give us any PRA lines for this game, kind of rightfully so.
Okay, cool. Damien got one here to look at, and it's funny that was one that I was on last night, and I don't really, like I said, by the numbers, it doesn't seem to be the most amazing because he's kind of inconsistent. But Isaiah Evans, he has here over 14.5. I was thinking he probably will do that here against Cal, and he has been more consistent lately, as we see on your screen. But is he 14.5 anywhere else now? Even if we wanted to play it.
Well, I know you can get the 15 or more on at least FanDuel. Let me take a look, skipoo.
Okay.
Yeah, so FanDuel's still there, Hard Rock's still there, DraftKings odds kind of, What did? Curious, what's the actual payout?
I have a feeling he's going to get there, but
yeah. So you can still play him on Prizepicks even. I don't mind the 2.75.
Yeah,
don't mind that. Yeah, I mean he's been good, man. Credit due. He really hit this little dry spell in the middle of the season here, but we have seen the minutes for him also kind of ramping back up. Granted, yes, in more competitive games. Albeit that, but this still should be, I think, honestly, is going to be within 15, 20 points at worst, but Cal's played up to a lot of competition this year. I mean, their record is pretty impressive. I got to be honest. It is Duke, obviously. You got to be a little bit worried about that, but I like the pace. I like the total. As long as they keep the game reasonably close, I don't think there's too much concern. He will definitely sit early, though, if the game starts getting out of hands. He will definitely sit. They have plenty of guards to go around. We just need that three ball, man. He's all about the threes. That's the biggest thing for him.
It's like betting on threes, basically.
It's really hard not to, if I'm being honest. I mean, he's got one more game hitting just in general for percentages, the straight up threes than anything, but the odds also really suck. I mean, the books are not being favorable with that at all. FanDuel's the only good site that's even kind of offering something on the table for that. I don't mind it. I really hate just taking the straight up point prop, to be honest. I know his fantasy was wildly popular the last couple of games, but yeah, the 14.5 points, I mean, that would just kind of be my, I think, expectations. for hopefully him to hit a minimum. Probably not going to chase any of the other stuff. So, yeah, 14.5 points. I can live with that.
Cool. We'll see what he does. That'll be interesting, and it'll be fun because it's the end of the night, and we can just kind of chill and watch that one and BYU back and forth. That'll be cool. 2 games at the end of the night. Alrighty. I think that is about all in the chat that we have for today. And let's see. This is we're gonna go for day 4 in a row of some good profiting. Let's make it happen again. And appreciate you guys for hitting that like for us. I didn't annoy you with the poll today, so you guys did it all on your own. That's what's up. And so cool, man. Anything else we want to add here? Are we going to look more before the game starts? I know the Seth fantasy was interesting.
Yeah, man. Seth fantasy, and honestly, just this Hansberry. I'm glad somebody actually brought that back up because I was looking at this earlier too.
And what about the Caleb fantasy on Underdog? It's just such a big difference. Staying away from it just because it's a lot, or do you like it?
Well, that's kind of where the dilemma is. I don't know if I want to go lean into Wilson here or Seth, because both of their lines are very, very favorable. If they play their normal minutes, I mean, honestly, both of them can get there.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So one of those two, I don't know if I'm going to have an official difference between the two of them here before we hop off, but maybe even a half unit, something on slip for each of them.
2 Carolina guys?
Yeah, because the biggest win factor would be if Henry got into early foul trouble or something happens with him, then both of those guys are going to have just all the usage in the world.
All right. Well, with that being said, we might have to go back to the bowl play and see if we can alt both of those guys and then throw in a Henry 5 rebounds. I think that's something to look at. What do you think about North Carolina holding Stanford down too, point wise?
Like for team total under?
Mm-hmm. An alt, nothing like out of the ordinary, but just either holding them down to their normal. I think the line is, what is it? I want to say 70. There was one other thing too that I wanted to ask you. I don't recall. Let's see. So the total's actually pretty low. I think it's because of Stanford. 144 is really low. So yeah, they got Stanford's total at 70.5. So we can alt it to 80.5 and go under that. And then add a little Caleb 15 points, 7 boards, Tremble 15 PRA, and Henry 5 rebounds. Something like that.
That's not bad. That's not bad at all.
Could do that. If we're feeling Seth for 15 PRA, that might work.
Yeah, we'll have to do a little quick deep dive into the team total part of it. But
does
I think for this...
Sorry. Does Oakperick matter if he's in? Would that change anything of these type of plays here?
It would help the team total under out quite a bit more, and the potential fantasy for like Henry or Caleb Wilson here, I think that matters a little bit. That they could probably score easier with him not being as a defender on the other side, but are they going to get a few extra blocks and steals here? That's hard to say.
That's right. Okay. Maybe we'll wait, since it's a later game. We'll just wait for the news and then decide then.
Yeah, news will be definitely important for these two games here.
All right, cool.
Boopity-boopity playing.
It's interesting we got a Texas Tech game here, and we don't have any props that we like in besides the alts that we did.
Bro, Texas might come out and give them an absolute thrashing at home. I mean, Utah's good, don't get me wrong, but they're all offense, no defense.
That's what I'm saying. Those alts topping, they had him at 15. Now we can only play at 18. So I'm not sure if I feel as good about that, but he should get 18 points.
He should. You would like to think so.
Yeah. Alrighty then. Good to go?
Yeah. Yep. We still got a lot of stuff we'll probably end up posting, hanging around a little bit for news and X, Y, and Z for that, so we can get the good vibes going. But got three plays, feel pretty confident about, at least thus far for this evening. So make sure you guys check out the Discord, hop in, still run the 7-day free trial. We'll have a bunch of this stuff, especially for our Bet Online plays. We'll have all that stuff for you guys. I think DZ possibly had some soccer. Saw Big Coach was out today or out and about with us today. So a lot of stuff will probably continue throughout the night. Massive slate. So let's just break it down in parts, hit them in the good spots, and then try and avoid some of the landmines and garbage along the way. But with that being said, we appreciate every single one of y'all hanging out with us as usual, chopping it up. Make sure you hit that like button on the way out if you haven't already. Appreciate the support for the channel. Good luck tonight. We'll catch you guys back here tomorrow for stream time as usual. And we'll see y'all on the Discord. Peace.